Hello, emotional confidence for women. It is frog in my throat. Bree back again on this Wednesday afternoon. Many of you may have seen yesterday I did a post where I spent the majority of yesterday researching for some things that are coming up for me. And as everybody knows, I love the brain and I love trying to understand better how our brains work, particularly how our brains work in correlation to how emotions are assigned to events, which are then in turn turned into head talk and the stories that we tell ourselves and the reasons why we as women get so screwed up with this thing in here instead of being able to just address it. So something that I wanted to share with you, because unknowingly I have managed to kind of offer now two different versions of a program to help you to better understand your brain. So let me explain this a little bit more. Your brain is made up of, now the brain is super complex and there's a lot of things that I learned yesterday, but I'm going to just dumb everything right down and talk just about one specific aspect of the brain right now, okay? So I know for those of you who share my passion of the brain that this is very basic kind of chunking up of information. However, for where it's leading, it's going to be sufficient enough. And for many of you, it could give you just some really great light bulbs. So your brain has left and right hemisphere, right? Now, we all know, generally speaking, the left side of our body and our brain is the masculine part of our brain. Hello, Kim. How are you? Left represents masculine, right represents feminine. Now, when it comes to the left and right hemispheres of the brain, the left part of the brain tends to have more of a dominance. Particularly in our society, because the left part of the brain also correlates with intelligence and IQ. And particularly in mainstream schooling systems, IQ tends to be more important than emotional intelligence, right? So all of this is happening on the left side of the brain. The left side of the brain is the brain that creates the stories. It's the dialogue that you are tuning into. And it is very loud. It is quite dominating when it comes to you making decisions and interpreting the reality of your world. The right side of the brain is your more feminine side of the brain. And we know that as females, we are naturally more tuned into the right side of the brain when we're actually listening to it. Now, the right side of the brain is our emotional connection. So this is why it is so important for us as females to recognize when we are getting caught in the left side thinking part of the brain and we start to analyze what's actually going on from an emotional point of view, because we will then be using that emotional part of our brain to better understand the depths of our issues. Now, the interesting thing about females is we actually have 23% more connection from left to right hemispheres. So this means we also have the ability to go between right and left a lot more fluently than many men do. Why am I so excited by this? Well, as we all know, Bree loves head talk, right? I love helping women to identify head talk. And so I'm starting to map out a better understanding of how it all works. So let's imagine an event happens. Now, in the split second that an event happens, your right brain sees the event because the right brain lives in the now. So the right brain is not interested in the past. It's not interested in the future. It is interested only in right now and how you feel right now. So the event happens and emotion is connected. The left side of the brain then picks up on the emotion, and your unconscious mind, which takes things a bit deeper again, then goes, right, she's feeling angry. This is the connection that she's now starting to tell herself. So let's go and remind her of all of the stories in the past where anger had the underlying current. So your left side of the brain starts to talk head talk that resonates with anger and fuels anger. And you start getting caught up in this vortex of shit that is just left brain story-based nonsense. So in order for us to get the best healing possible, what we want to be able to do is recognize where the left and right brains are not talking together and then address both parts of the problem. And this is where I'm super excited, right? My Own Your BS program I have uncovered yesterday is a very left brain processed program. It helps you to identify logically the reasons why you are feeling what you are feeling, and more importantly, what you can do. Hello, Bina. Love your likes. And Kim, look at you all, you know, you're all crazy. So Own Your BS, it helps you to identify what the actual story is, and then it gives you the conscious-based logical strategies to be able to work through the nonsense of the head talk. And we need strategies because the left side of the brain, the dominant part of your brain, processes logically, rationally, and step by step. So Own Your BS is the awareness, the accountability, and the action that helps you to recognize and move through a problem or an issue in your life using predominantly the left part of your brain. Now, my one-on-one program that I run with that features Creatrix, which is the unique for the female brain process that heals the issue at the core, is more of the right brain focused program. So when you run an entire program with me between Own Your BS and Emotional Detox, you are going to heal all of your issues with left and right brain coming together with cohesion. And I'm so excited by this because it means when you recognize the link between your stories and your emotions, and we work with the stories in a productive way that doesn't bog you down, it doesn't get you caught up in the stories, it just sets you on a path of clarity. And then we start to heal your soul at the core with your right brain in mind, then we start to bring everything together. It's very, very exciting. And as you can tell, it pumps me up because I didn't do any of this on purpose. I've just been constantly over the last 7 or 8 months going, how can I help women to get from where they are to the next step so that they can continue to step up on their journey of personal development? And along the way, I've managed to create these things that bring both parts of our brains together. And of course, Maz was the creator of Creatrix. So I'm forever grateful that I have the experience with Creatrix and that I've been working with it for so long, because I can see time and time again how that process not only works with that female brain, with that right emotional and intuitive brain, it also brings in the conscious and the unconscious mind. So it takes it a whole lot deeper. Like I said, the brain is complex and I could talk about it for hours and just continue to confuse you. So I'm going to cut it off here with just that first introduction for you. Your left brain is your logical, rational brain. We need to know how to work with your left brain so that you can work through your stories in a manner that stops you from getting caught up. That is Own Your BS. When you have done that, when you have the awareness around what your issues are, you can then start to heal them properly with the right side of the brain, your emotional, intuitive, and feminine part of the brain. And when you do both of that, you then got the ultimate emotional confidence, because you can see every situation that happens to you in your life for what it is. And that is a combination of emotion and past reasoning and expectations, past evidence-based stories. When you do both of that, you can live in the now and you can be more appreciative of what's right here and more excited about what's in the future. So I'm excited. I hope that this little lesson on the brain has made sense. I hope it has excited you. And if you would like to know more about how we can reveal your BS and get you so that you're in alignment with what is most important to you, so your focus comes back to your priorities in life and not all of the head talk that is currently clouding you, then please schedule in a call to chat with me. I will pop the link for my calendar into a comment or into the description of this video. It's a 15-minute phone call. It's not a long period of time, but it is enough for us to really identify what your blocks are and what we can do if you feel that we're a great fit together. And ultimately, that is super important as well, because you will only let your guard down when you trust and like and respect the person that you are working with. So it is really important to me that I work with people that are on the same kind of level as me, if that makes sense. So there you go. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for all the love and all of the likes and all the hearts. It's all very exciting when we get that kind of interaction. And I will be checking in possibly tomorrow. I've got kind of a full-on day tomorrow, and then we're camping. I think I mentioned that yesterday, that we're going to take the kids camping for the Easter weekend. So if I don't catch up before the end of this week, please have a fantastic Easter. Start to be aware of what's going on in your head. Start to connect what you're actually feeling as a result of the stories in your head, and then just bring yourself into one step of awareness, one step of control and power, by then asking yourself, right, I know my story now. I know what I'm feeling. What is the best thing that I can do in this moment to bring myself back to the direction that I actually want to go on? Have a fantastic afternoon. I'll talk to you all soon. Mwah.